All right, welcome to tonight's Football Focus Weekly episode. I'm the Pet Man, Matt Morrow. We're going to be down a couple people tonight. The Queen and Big Shelby will not be here due to other engagements, so we're going to have a fun show. I was just telling the professor I don't know what I might say tonight because I'm so relaxed. I've been off several days from work, which never happens, but I'm very blessed and appreciative of that. But tonight is week 10 of Football Focus Weekly of the season. We're sponsored by Body Armor Light. Yes, Body Armor does have light flavors for those of us that cannot indulge in all the full flavor of the strong regular Body Armor. Berry Punch. I'm going to try this tonight throughout the show. And I'll let you know how good this is because all the Body Armors are good, but I'll see how this does against all the other Body Armors that I love and that you all love from watching Football Focus Weekly on Charlotte Football Insiders. That being said, we'll be right back with the rapid review of the games last week. So settle in and enjoy. I'm slamming this week is snow tubing. Snow tubing, number one, is not made for men of my stature. I can't deal with this Men 21 game, man. It's so terrible.
Y'all act like football stops being played when y'all leave Mecklenburg County. We play football here in Cabarrus County too. And then even though it was raining, I was rolling around in the yard doing freaking grass angels out there.
Hallelujah!
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is make sure your wife, your girlfriends, your mistress, look, I'm back.
See, I got my hat on backwards. And it ain't because I'm a G either. It's because I'm angry. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm angry.
So I'm going to have to start. This is going to be a large group of people. So I might have to walk around with like a slime gun or a slime cannon, or maybe put the slime in like an old school super soaker.
Joe Hughes! Joe Hughes! Cowboy Joe! You know it's a big night if Cowboy Joe's here. My goodness.
Y'all always put me on blast first, man. Who am I slamming? Good question.
All right. Once again, we are live. Welcome to week 10 of Football Focus Weekly. Like I said, sponsored by Body Armor Light. I did try it during the intro. It's pretty daggone good, man. Berry Punch. Low calorie. So we got those light options for you out there if you're trying to shed a few pounds. I'm not, but, I'm just trying out different flavors. Anyway, so tonight with us we have the professor. There we go.
The Berry Punch, Pep. That's my Body Armor Light of choice.
Hey, it's pretty good, man.
It is
pretty
good.
Good. And we had the producer.
I'm more of a peach mango man myself with the Body Armor Light, but I might have to try that other one though.
That sounds like a good wings flavor. Peach mango habanero.
I'll trust your gut on that. So we do have a couple comments already. The chat administrator. What's up, Kyle?
Good old chat admin.
How y'all doing? See, y'all. See, there you go.
Not as good as Mooresville's doing right now. That's for sure.
That is true. A huge win over West Cabarrus last week. And then we'll get to that because that is our first segment tonight, the rapid review. So let me get the scores up on the screen, and we'll talk about what we saw last week, or what happened, I should say. So let's see. There we go. All right. Let's switch back to that. All right. Now, So West Rowan big over Central Bears.
Yeah,
Big,
it was a close game. It's a little bit misleading, Pep. It was a close game at halftime. It was a one-possession game at halftime, and then West Rowan kind of blew it out the water in the third quarter. From all reports that I've heard, West Rowan went up big. Central Bears pulled all of their starters just to keep everyone safe and free from harm and to get guys reps. And West Rowan maybe continued to kept throwing the deep ball deep into the fourth quarter with their starting quarterback in. Apparently, he was trying to break a school record of some sort, and they continue to throw all fades, and post routes, even deep into the fourth quarter. So a coach may not be getting some help in film from other coaches down the road.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you, from your perspective, how would you handle that as a coach?
Well, in 2014, I was at East Rowan my first year. We played West Rowan, and back then, of course, Scott Young, God rest his soul, was the coach. And they had just beaten the dog doo-doo out of us on Thursday night. And we were a good team, but we weren't a very good team yet. This is the team that ended up making the third round of the playoffs. And at 6:55, we're walking off the field, and Coach Young comes pulling into his parking spot. 6:55, 7:30 start game. And he gets out of his car, and he's got his pressed pants and his pressed game shirt, and he's got his leather briefcase. And I looked at my wide receiver coach, and I said, it won't be tonight, but one of these years we're going to beat the dog out of these fools, and it's going to be ugly, and I'm not going to call the dogs off. Well, little did I know that 40 minutes later, into the first quarter, East Rowan 42, West Rowan 0. It was West Rowan's first loss to a Rowan County school in something like, I don't know, it was 15, 17 years, something like that. But you put things in the back of your head. A certain coach who is no longer a head coach did the same thing in 2009 when he was the head coach of Northwest Cabarrus. They were up by 28. He threw a deep ball with his quarterback, whose name might rhyme with Annan, and they went up by 35. And a couple weeks later, we played them in the first round of the playoffs, and let's just say we beat the dog doo-doo out of them as well. As a head coach, you put that in the back of your head, and you'll have something for them down the road.
Wow. And, I agree with you, man. Coaches have real long memories. And, one of the things me and producer joke about from time to time was back in the 80s when Harding was really coming of age under Tom Knotts. We had some old VHS tapes of Harding, and I was watching them because I was interested, just to see, how things were back then. And, he would be throwing it deep against East Gaston and, going up 72-0 in the fourth quarter. And I remember when we were playing in the 90s and, early 2000s, teams were doing that to us. And we were sitting around like, what is going on? What is the deal here? And then referees would be making little comments. Yeah, you remember what Tom did in the 80s? Y'all getting it back. And I'm like, what? Whoa. He's not here. This is not right. But, I mean, it's amazing what, coaches remember. And, when they get their shot, they,
So there were, you remember stuff, even as simple as game film, going into the playoffs, and a coach calls you up, hey, Coach McClain, right, can I get such and such a game film? Nah, big dog, because I remember 7 years ago when you did there are still some coaches who are on my bucket. I'll just put it like that. I got something for them one day, too.
Well, well, anyway. We'll leave that alone for now. We'll save that for the off season. That's a good topic, boy, because I got some stories. Anyway, I call the rapid review. South Meck Olympic, what a game, man. Good gracious. South Meck went in on the last-second field goal by Zane Davis, 31-29 over Olympic. Huge win. Later on in the show, we'll talk about the ramifications of that win in that SOMEC 7 race, which is just crazy. 4 teams, Olympic, South Meck, Myersburg, RGKL, all have legitimate shots of winning the conference, man. Good gracious. As I said, Big Shelby's not here tonight, but he's chiming in from App State where he is. He's here
watching the Coastal game?
He's up there with Santana Hopper. I believe he committed to App State.
Number 9?
Is that correct? Yeah, the big D tackle, yep.
Boy, he's a stud.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I hope you guys enjoy that experience. I know it's
Ag
amazing.
State recruit in school history. I love Coach Webb.
Yeah, he's definitely a big Shelby advocate. So, all right. Well, let's get back on the rapid review. Let's scroll down and get some more scores here. Let's see. Independence big over East Meck, 51-0. That's a big win on their homecoming, I believe. Concord over Northwest Cabarrus. I was a little surprised at the margin there. Professor, what do you think about that?
5 in a row. Everybody knows that Concord's game plan is to ground and pound, and the key to their success has been to keep the other team's offense off the field. Well, not only did they keep Northwest off the field, but they scored, and they scored a lot, 48 points. That's a lot of points. Their offensive line, Pep, we've talked about on the show several times. Kaz Hartzell, Jamison Hackett, those types of players. Their offensive line is playing out of their minds right now, and they've got some little running back, Jackson, I believe is his name. I'm going to see them on Friday. I'm going to watch them versus West Rowan at Concord. That's going to be a huge game. It's going to be the biggest game between those two schools since 2012 when we met in the third round of the playoffs at Robert C. Bailey. Of course, we beat the dog out of West Rowan that night.
There you go, man. Awesome stuff. On these next set of scores, Huff was big over Mallard Creek, 31-7. Monroe, big one over Parkwood, 39-6.
Huge.
Yeah, absolutely. AK big over Harding. Chambers shutting out North Meck 30-0. And Rabun Gap big over Charlotte Latin's first loss on the season, 38-3. I'll tell you, Rabun Gap is tough, and they're leading that private school conference right now. But they got a big one this week coming up against Providence Day. And that's going to be a game to really watch because I think Providence Day is starting to round into form. They won that big one over Charlotte Christian last week in a wild game, 48-47, when the young lady, Miss McCorkle, hit the game-winning extra point, which was awesome. Awesome stuff on that. Let's see, West Meck big over Hopewell, 32-0, getting them back in the win column, win number 4 on the season for those guys. Porter Ridge over Cuthbertson, and we talked about Cuthbertson. They're almost there, man. They're right there against these good teams, 35-28. Of course, Butler over Charlotte Catholic. What a game, 28-21. The Queen was there. Our new photographer, Patricia Oliver, was there. She had some great pictures that we put out there. The Queen did a good job getting an interview after the game with Jason Chambers. Really talented young man that's doing big things for the Bulldogs, but going in there and getting a big win and pretty much, sealing up the Southwestern Conference, barring, some unforeseen upset for the Bulldogs is huge. And that really puts them on that same level as Chambers and Huff and Myers Park in my eyes. Producer, you got anything to add to that?
No, I think you pretty much got it so far.
Okay. Let's see. Justin was at West Charlotte Berry. West Charlotte won that game big, 45-20, as West Charlotte continues to solidify their place, of course, in the playoffs and giving them a better chance at a higher seed going into it. Let's see. There's that 48-47 game I referenced, Providence Day and Christian. Catawba Ridge getting back in the win column, 31-10.
That's a much-needed win for them, Catawba Ridge.
Yes.
They really needed that to get back on track. That's very important.
They have a big region game this week against Indian Land, who we just saw last week against South Point and Rock Hill. Let's see. Providence continuing to win, 35-16 over Rocky River, solidifying their chances for a possible wild card berth. We'll take a look at the RPI rankings a little later. Let's see. Cabarrus Warriors winning over South Lake big, 42-15. On down the line, York continuing to win big, beating Fort Mill last week. Kings Mountain over Kramer. Kramer hanging in there, man. They're hanging in there against those good teams. They just can't get over the hump, 41-28. Northwestern over Spring Valley. And then J.M. Robinson, 82. Good gracious. Now, I know Union Academy is struggling. I saw them in person last year, but 82. Whew.
I think Robinson's sophomore quarterback threw 8 touchdown passes in that game.
Yes, I think it was 7 because he followed me on Twitter. That's the only reason I know it was 7.
That?
So does that allude back to your opening story of the segment?
What's that?
The deep go routes and fades while you're up big.
Well, talking to Robinson's coaches. Now, I didn't talk to D-Rob. This was some of the other coaches. They said, for example, they put Blue in at quarterback in the second half, and his first touch, he went 40 yards untouched. That's a quarterback keeper. You can't do a whole lot about that. I think Blue scored 3 touchdowns, I believe, and they were all quarterback design runs. Sometimes you're just a whole lot better than the other team.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen and Lord bless those guys at Union Academy. They're really nice people down there.
Just curious to see if it was one of those situations or not, but it doesn't sound like it was.
Yeah, and this honestly, for a team like Robinson, this isn't a good game for them because they didn't learn anything from it. They definitely didn't get better. They're not going to outscore their own defense 82-8 in a scrimmage. Robinson right now, their conference is hurting them a little bit. We'll see how they respond. They've got South Stanley, who is struggling to say the least this week, I believe. And then, of course, they've got for the championship, probably Mount Pleasant the following week. But then, big boy ball starts, and we've talked about how good that 2A West League is going to be with teams like Shelby in it. It'll be interesting to see after they've played a fairly weak conference schedule, how they respond after the Mount Pleasant game in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Finishing up the rapid review, Burns, whose head coach David Devine will be on the show in about 10 minutes. He'll be here at 8 o'clock if you're waiting for Coach Devine to come on. And he's great to talk to. He's going to be a great interview. 45-38 in overtime over East Gaston. That was a wild game. And then Shelby big over Bessemer City. Shelby has East Gaston this week, so it'll be interesting to see, how Shelby will play a much improved, obviously, East Gaston football team who has playoff aspirations in their own right. Lake Norman over Cox Mill, 15-7. A.L. Brown ending that losing streak over South Iredale, 45-21. North Gaston getting their first win of the season. Talked about that on Friday Night Live over Huss, 20-19.
Go back up. What is that Highland Tech Bearcats? What's happening?
I think that's a forfeit.
Oh, okay. Because I saw a 2. Yeah. Like they got a safety and just went home. I said,
nah.
Okay, just curious.
Let's see. Crest with the shutout over Forest View, and there's that big Mooresville victory over West Cabarrus, 50-14. That's strong. And South Point, that's the game we were at over Indian Land, 28-13. And then Gaffney continuing to win, remaining undefeated, big over Nation Ford.
Bulldogs logo gets used by a lot of schools, doesn't it?
It sure does. That's not going to be the last time we see Boiling Springs tonight, by the way. I know we don't talk about it.
I saw the preview. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that'll do it for the rapid review right there. So let's jump into our rankings before we get Coach Devine on the show. So we'll jump off of that and we'll flip to the rankings. Oh, we got some comments. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Kyle Sharon, don't sleep on Hickory. That's a good-looking football team up there. Coach Glass up there getting it done. Absolutely. Andy Rodden checking in. What's up, man? Burns versus East Gas game was unreal. I was at that game. Yeah, it was. Joe Hughes was, Twitter fingers like crazy, trying to keep us all updated. And did an awesome job. Shelby versus Salisbury. We've seen that movie before.
Yo, Pep, I saw. We went to a Catawba game a couple weeks ago. Watched them play versus Winston State, and I see this ginormous kid on Catawba's sideline, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" Their best looking player isn't even dressed out. And I'm hanging out with D-Rob at halftime, and he goes, "Coach, that's the Walker kid over there, right?" I said, "Which one?" He said, "Coach, just scan the sideline. He stands out." Oh, it's the Walker kid. He's a senior in high school. He's the reigning state defense player of the year. He's the best player in the state that people outside of Charlotte don't know about, because let me tell you, that kid can play.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a beast. I've seen his highlights, and it was fun. It was fun to watch.
I'm your other team.
All right, so this week's Dirty Dubs is sponsored by the Queen City Senior Bowl. As a reminder, you have very, very limited time to put in your application for the Queen City Senior Bowl. If you're a senior in the eligible counties of Mecklenburg, Gaston, Cleveland, Cabarrus, and Union, I've been getting hit with the question of why are not more areas eligible for the game. The simple answer is
It's called the Queen City Bowl.
Well, that's one reason. Another reason is you have to be able to come to practice. This is not a game that provides housing where you're out of school for multiple days at a time. You have to commute after school to practice and then back home and then go to school the next day and back to practice. And it's not practical to include areas that are outside of the metro area for that reason. If it was a game that provided housing, then yes, I could see, a bigger argument for that. There are other games that are out there that have different setups and circumstances, and then you've seen them all over Twitter popping up, here and there. I can't speak to their efficacy or what they are trying to do with those games, but I can, of course, speak for the Queen City Senior Bowl. You've seen it the last 2 years. It's very strong. It's not going anywhere. As you see, it was expanded after year one, so it is what it is. So, with that being said, not too many changes in the rankings. Charlotte Catholic does drop to 6 with their loss to Butler. Shelby does move up to the top 5. I know Big Shelby is not here to enjoy that moment that he's been waiting on for several weeks, but it's all good. Let's see. Charlotte Latin does drop to 12 with their first loss of the season to Raymond Gap. And then Hickory Ridge, Weddington, Marvin Ridge, RG Kell, and South Mick all move up because of that. Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Queen City Senior Bowl is going to blow up even more than it has. An incredibly well-run event. Like I said, I'm a partner in the game. There are some guys that, do some great stuff behind the scenes that are doing yeoman's work right now. If you guys knew the chaos that went on to put all this together and doing it twice in 1 year at that is something else. So, they do a great job. And I'm only a one part of it. Trust me. So that's the Dirty Dozen. You guys got any thoughts on the dozen? We've pretty much settled in on a strong group of teams here.
Other than Butler and Catholic, that was 2 teams in the dozen, and then South Meck and Olympic. Other than those, you mainly have teams winning games that they were supposed to win. Pretty much, as far as how it looks on paper. So,
absolutely,
yeah, don't think you're gonna see as much movement.
Yeah, well, we're getting to that point in the season now to where you know who the strong teams are. Everyone's pretty much established who they are. Now, you get a team, like you said, matched up in the dozen against each other. You can kind of start, splitting hairs a little bit and saying, okay, this team's obviously a little better because they won head-to-head. But, it is what it is at this point. And soon, when the playoffs start, this isn't going to matter because it's going to be all settled on the field. So, there you go.
This
all
won't really matter, Pat.
Thank you, Professor. I appreciate that. So this week's county rankings, not too many changes. I did move Mountain Island back to number 2, with Forest View's lost to Crest in Gaston County. But other than that, no real other changes. Like I said, these are the top teams in the counties. They've pretty much been there for most of the season, outside of a little movement here and there. You guys got any thoughts on these guys? All right, good. Kyle, I need the hashtag, please. You know what I'm talking about. So when Kyle gets that on the screen, we'll share it. But we'll go to our last rankings before Coach Devine gets on the show. That is the CMS Best to Last, the most controversial rankings that we do. And I've been forgetting to put these on Instagram. I wondered why my Instagram was so quiet this week. It's because I didn't share this. It's my fault.
Not a Charlotte Catholic person those bits to you, Pep, in a week.
They have not. There's been other things about Charlotte Catholic that have been in the news that I'm not going there. Anyway, if you guys could see my inbox, I swear it would tell so many stories.
Probably
But in the best of last this week, we've got not too many changes. I did move West Charlotte up above North Mech because of their victory over Berry, and then North Mech's lost to Chambers. But other than that, I did move West Mech up because they did win on the right side, so there's a little movement on the right side for them. And then other teams sliding back because they did not win last week. So, like I said, the left side of the screen, in my opinion, are solid playoff teams. The right side, 10 and 11, I think, have a shot with the RPI and the wild card system. The other ones, I'm not too keen on.
I don't know if all the left side is a playoff team yet, Pat, because you got West Charlotte and North Mech, and that obviously in that league with Huff and although West Charlotte will be the 3A team, right?
Yep, they got the automatic 3A bid. Yep.
That's right.
So for North Mech, they're on that proverbial bubble, and I'm going to start using that term this week. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. And there you go. That's why he's the best chat administrator around right there. Well, what producer? Someone remind me. I got to get a badge. I've got to get a badge to put it on the screen. I don't know how I can put that on there during the show, but I'll work on that because that's the best one around right there. Awesome stuff. Last comment before we go to Coach Devine. Let's see here. How do you have Crest over Kings Mountain in the Cleveland County rankings when Kings Mountain beat Crest? Crest is a good team, but so is Burns. They play some hellacious football in Cleveland County. You know, that's the toughest one to gauge. All four of those teams are super, super awesome, man. That's probably some of the best football in the state. You know, it's probably right there beside, Charlotte Mecklenburg in terms of top football being played in one area. That is just my opinion. At this point in the season, you have some head-to-head matchups, but they happened a while ago. When those two teams played, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Crest was kind of going through some issues. They weren't at 100%, and there were some different things going on within, the program in relation to the pandemic that affected them. But now things have kind of settled full circle. They're all great teams. In that ranking, you're splitting hairs. Just kind of like with the best of last on the left side. You're splitting hairs, when you start to get to some of these teams. And it's just a personal opinion, My gospel will not matter in a couple weeks, as I said. Because once we get to the playoffs, everything's settled on the field, and that's the best way to do it, man. It's the best way to do it. All right. All that being said, I'm going to put you guys in the background because it is time to bring on our guest. All right. We'll get his name up on the screen. That would help. All right. He is the Burns Bulldogs head football coach. He is also a Queen City Senior Bowl coach for the second year in a row. I always enjoy talking to him. He's doing a great job with that program up at Burns. His name is David Devine. We're going to bring him on the show right now. Coach, how we doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing great, man. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to come join us and talk a little football.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you having me on. I always like listening to you guys and like to hear y'all hash things out, just like you were with old Andy Rod just a minute ago.
Yeah, you're a part of some great football in Cleveland County, man. What's it like just being a part of a county that plays such good football year in and year out?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said. I mean, you got four teams here that play consistently great football, and it's fun to be a part of. And every game, it doesn't matter what your record is. It's a lot like you said. It's a lot like Charlotte. I mean, you got very competitive football, and we've only got four teams here, so it's a little bit smaller area. So everybody's a little bit more closer together, close knit with families and whatnot. Everybody knows everybody, so it's fun when you play. But the week before, it kind of gets a little rough. People,
Yeah, I can imagine. But that's kind of the fun of it, man. It's kind of good to have that feeling, when you're playing games. And sometimes in Charlotte, you don't get that because all the transplants and all the moving parts and stuff that's going on. But anyway,
our kids and families all know each other, so it's a really fun rivalry. It doesn't matter which one of the three you're playing.
Absolutely, man. Talk to us about that game last week, man. What a game! I mean, good gracious, you guys pull it out in overtime.
Yeah, that was crazy. I knew it would be nip and tuck like that because I knew they were a really good football team. We played them a couple years ago with that same group on JVs, and it was a real tight game. I knew they had some good athletes. They're really big up front. So I mean, it was a barn burner. It was kind of like whoever had the ball the last would win. So that's kind of what it came down to. We were fortunate enough to, I think we had the ball last. I think we did in the last overtime. I can't remember, but yeah, it was fun. It was really fun for our kids to be a part of it, and I know they came up on the losing end of it, but I'm sure it was fun for them at the time, and it was just a great atmosphere. Fans were going crazy. It was just an exciting atmosphere, and glad we came away with the win. I don't care how many points it's by.
That's right. A win is a win, especially at this point in the season.
Yes, sir. It doesn't matter.
So what's it like coaching at Burns for, you've been there for a while now. What's the experience like for, people that are watching the show and may not know much about your program?
Well, I mean, we're a one-stoplight town, a very rural community. We got about 900 kids here. It's a lot of agricultural people, and then, you got some transplants that work in Gaston County and Charlotte, Mecklenburg. They'll drive that way. So we're a real close community. We call ourselves a blue-collar school. We're hard. We pride ourselves on working hard and trying to outwork people. We work really hard in the weight room and during the off season, so that's kind of what we hang our hat on. And fortunate enough to have some good athletes here. So I mean, it's a fun atmosphere to be around. It's kind of like you see these movies about people shutting down the town. We don't necessarily shut it down, but most of our people come to the games and they travel well. So it's a fun little community, and it's a great place to coach football.
Absolutely. I'm going to share something personal. My first wife actually graduated from Burns.
Really? I did not know that.
She was so proud of that. And I said, well, where's Burns? Many years ago. I had no idea. But
we're about 10 miles above Shelby.
Yeah. We actually drove back. That was, anyway, long time ago.
That's nice to know. I can rib you about something now.
Oh, well, there's a lot. But talk to me about, you were in the Queen City Senior Bowl as a coach last year for the first time. What was the experience like, and what did you enjoy most about it, Coach?
Well, I just enjoyed, me personally, I enjoyed, getting to spend time with those coaches because, I don't usually get to hang out with the Charlotte coaches much. I spent a lot of time with those guys. Got to meet Coach Farabee and got to meet Coach Griner and Coach Evans. Those are just some great guys, and I'm glad I got to get to know them. And Coach James from Ashbrook, that's the first time I really got spending time with him. So it was just an outstanding group of guys to get to hang out with, learned a lot from them. And then, to get to meet some of the players that I've never got a chance to watch play because most of those guys are from Charlotte. It was eye-opening to see the amount of athleticism that was involved in that game. We pride ourselves on being a football county here in Cleveland County, and we're a great football county, but Charlotte's got some good players too. Just the drastic number of them, it's just such a bigger populated area. It was eye-opening to see the number of athletes and as big as they are and as fast as they can run.
Awesome.
And it was just a great time. I mean, I had Alfonso Goodson played in it. He had a blast, and I urge all the kids. I know you sent out a tweet today trying to get some kids to fill out the nomination forms or whatever. But I urge them to do that because it's a great opportunity. It's a good way to get around and test yourself against some good competition. You got some great coaches, and it's a good way to get some colleges to see you. It's a great time, great atmosphere.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach, for that.
And the drive's not too bad.
So I got to ask you, Coach, you guys are once again having a really good season as usual. Who are some guys that are really standing out for you so far this year, Coach?
Well, offensively, I haven't checked it this week, but I know our receiver, Ryan Thompson, he's a junior. Number 2, I think he's leading 2A in receptions. He's got right at 50. He's having a great breakout year for us. We always knew he could, but this year he's really shining for us. And then our sophomore quarterback, Ben Mooney, he's got about 1,500 yards passing. He's really came on, done really well. And then we got a sophomore running back as well, Jeremiah Norris. He's approaching 1,000 yards. He's around 800 or something like that right now. So he's really, we struggled to run the ball early on just because of personnel issues and whatnot, but I think we've got that ironed out. So Jeremiah's really came on. And then defensively, we got Kahari Haynes. He's a big-time recruit. He's doing really well. He's got, 75-ish tackles, got a bunch of tackle for losses, like 13, 15. And then Nick Vixen's got about 18 tackles for loss. And then we got a senior, Azari Brown, linebacker. He's having a great year for us, too. He's getting some looks in the recruiting trail. Some colleges need to take a look at him because he's 6'2", 195 pounds, can run really well. And he's just a great overall defensive player.
It's a lot of talent, Coach.
We're blessed with some good players. I'm not going to lie. It ain't all coaching. We got some good players now.
Absolutely.
I don't take credit for any of that. Those guys are good football players. And we got some really good kids. They work really hard year round. We're blessed. I tell people all the time, we are blessed with some great young men.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, Goodson, he had a great game last year too.
He did.
In the bowl game. I was impressed with him. That was my first time seeing him up close, and my goodness, he can play so many positions.
Yeah, he's just an athlete, and he's got a motor that doesn't stop. He's actually he ended up walking on that Gardner Webb, so he's trying to make it work that way. So he's came to a couple of our games. It's good to see him. So I'm telling him he just needs to stick it out, and hopefully it'll work out for him.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good to hear, man. We got our co-host, our former head coach, Kenneth McClamrock. We call him the professor because he's smarter than all of us. And bring him on, and he's got a question or two for you, Coach.
Okay.
Coach Devine, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well. I've never gotten to meet you in person, but over the years I've heard a lot of positive things from people who know you. So I'm glad that you're on the show tonight.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all having me. It's good to finally meet you. I've seen your face before, so I'm not going to say put a face to the name, but I've heard a lot of good things about you as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Obviously, Lawndale Burns is one of the more special programs in the state, in the middle of a very good football playing county. You just talked about how has Lawndale Burns, a school of 900 kids, a school that's agriculturally based, as you put it, how are you guys consistently good every single year? I mean, you've mentioned work hard in the weight room. You've mentioned the community support. What makes Burns High School such a special place and a place where kids want to come and play? I mean, you've got Shelby right down the road. You've got some other schools right down the road, but the kids want to play for Burns High School. Coach, what makes it such a special place?
Well, it's kind of like Mr. Mora was talking about his wife. I mean, we're very proud of ourselves. We think a lot of ourselves being Burns Bulldogs. So we have a lot of pride here, a lot of history, and a lot of close-knit families. But, we've got some towns that are close to Shelby, closer to Kings Mountain. We got a town that's close to Crest that we draw a lot of our athletes from that are fortunately in our district. So we get a lot of those athletes, and they grow up playing Little League football for Upper Cleveland or Union Elementary. So those kids they play on our field, and they want to be Bulldogs from the time they're old enough to walk. So, I mean, that pride is just instilled into them from day one. And we're fortunate that, we got those guys that come play football. And then we've got our, like I said, we're an agriculture-based area, so we've got some bigger kids as well that help us out in the trenches. So we got a nice little mixture of athletes and linemen as well. So, I just attribute it to, it's a Cleveland County thing. Each school takes pride in their own little area, and our kids, grow up wanting to be Burns Bulldogs. And when they get here, like I said, they work their tails off year round. Sometimes I think we work them too hard, but they want to be good. So, to be good and compete in Cleveland County and in the western state of North Carolina, you got to do those things. Mm-hmm. And we're just fortunate enough that our kids buy into it, and they want to be special. They want to be good year in and year out. So that's just kind of us in a nutshell.
Well, you mentioned it. Yeah, I've coached against Shelby. I've coached against Kings Mountain. I've coached against Crest. I played in 1998 versus Burns. And, even way back then in 1998, I still remember how special of a feeling that school was, that stadium was, the Bulldog that sat in front of the field house was. So Coach, man, good luck for the rest of the year. I know you're 6-2, and realistically could probably have been 7-1 or even 8-0, a play or two here or there. But I know you got a big one coming up in 2 weeks. I know you're not looking forward to that, but good luck. Good luck the rest of the way.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. We had 2 really close ball games at the beginning of the year, but we played some really good competition in Kings Mountain and Watauga. We dropped those 2, but there were 1-score games. We could have very easily won them, but again, those guys won, so that's what it is. It is what it is. We can't worry about that. Now we got to worry about Cherville.
Yes, sir. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
All right. Thank you, Professor. Appreciate it. Coach, I got a question for you. Who would you say was your biggest influence from not only wanting to be a head coach, but where did you develop most of your coaching philosophy that you currently have from?
My overall coaching philosophy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I played here actually, and I graduated. We won the state championship when I was here, so that's kind of where I originally just fell in love with football.
Okay.
Played under Coach Green, and then I came back. Ron Green, who was here, who's in the Cleveland County Hall of Fame, and I worked under him at the beginning, so I developed a lot of things from him. He's always been a guy that's had a hard work ethic and developed really good relationships with kids. So I've got to try to keep those things, along the way. It's all about relationships with the kids. They're not going to play hard for you if you don't get those relationships with them and show them that you care about them and love them. And then, I worked under Chris Norman, who was absolutely one of the most professional people I've ever been around. So I've adopted those things from him. And then coached also under Lance Ware, who taught me how to not sweat the little things. And I still have trouble with that. But I try to be more like him in a little bit in those aspects. So I guess those are the key aspects of my coaching philosophy.
Yeah, those are some good men right there, and a lot of successful winning young men as coaches there for sure. Coach, my last question for you, going back to your time at Burns, what would you say is the best game you were ever a part of, win or loss?
Coaching?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or playing, if that's a bigger memory for you.
Yeah, I guess 2 years ago. The North Lincoln game, I guess, would probably be up there.
Okay.
We played them in the third round of the playoffs, and it went to overtime. And I think we kicked a field goal. No, we scored to win a touchdown. We kicked it, put it in overtime, and then we scored a touchdown in overtime to win the game. That was we played over there, and man, there was a crowd of people there, and that was pretty special.
Awesome.
And also the same year we beat Crest here for the first time, and man, I don't know when since we beat Crest. I don't know how long it's been since we beat Crest. That was a special night.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. Good stuff. I lied. I do have one more question. Some of the best players you ever coached at Burns. Off the top of your head, I know there's probably a lot, and there's a lot of guys that have done big things, but just a couple. Who would you say those would be for you?
Guys that I've coached personally?
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one there. Just favorite players or the best players?
Let's say favorites, because a lot of guys know the best ones.
Yeah, well, actually, I had a guy come back and coach for me a couple years ago, but now he's coaching his son's flag football team. So you can't hold that against him. But, his name's Brandon Jackson. He played linebacker for us here and running back back in I don't know, 04 or something like that.
Nice.
But man, he's a social worker for Cleveland County Schools. Played at North Carolina A&T. So man, he's probably one of my all-time favorites. He's just a class act, like just a classic Burns football player. Work hard, worked his tail off, strong as an ox, and gave you everything you had during the game. Just a fantastic individual.
Awesome. Well, Coach, this was a pleasure. It was great talking to you as always. Good to catch up and talk a little bit about Burns football and what you guys are doing up there, which is having another really good season, and hopefully I got to get up there because number one, I love you guys' colors. You know, no one else that I can think of has that nice blue and yellow color scheme, and you know, I saw you running down the hill on a couple videos. I saw you. You know that
they rib me all the time. They're just waiting for me to fall.
What I was gonna say, I'm not running down that hill.
I thought I was too good of an athlete to do that. I'm not gonna fall. Not yet, anyway. Actually, I did fall a couple years ago. So.
Oh man.
If I don't let that cat out of the bag, there'll probably be some video of it show up somewhere. So I better say that.
Yeah, they video everything these days.
Yeah, man, y'all come on up here and watch a football game. Hang out with us.
Yeah, we gotta do that, man.
Some fried chicken from up in Boston and sit down and have a good time.
Well, now you said the magic word. Now we gotta go.
We got the best fried chicken around now. Come on up and eat at Jan's.
Okay, Jan's in Falston.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I got to check. I love my chicken, so I'm going to check it out.
All right.
Absolutely.
I look forward to it.
All right. Coach, well, see you soon, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good, well, it's not weekend yet. Have a good Thursday night. Let's see is App winning?
I don't know. That's a good question. I got to check the score. I know we had somebody said they were going to be watching. If you're watching, throw that score up there so we can find out. But
yeah. Again, I appreciate you guys having me. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too, bud.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that was Burns head coach David Devine. Great guy. I love talking to him last year at the Queen City Senior Bowl. He's done another great job with the Burns Bulldogs. All right, what we got? Let's see. We got some comments right here. Oh, Jans is good? Okay. I'm going to get up there. Producer, hey, hold on.
Yeah, man.
Hey, we got to write that down, man. We got to write down Jan's up in Falston.
Boom. I just took a screenshot. We got it, man.
There we go.
We won't forget it.
And by the way, Coastal Carolina is leading out 14-0. So there's your app update.
Coastal is also very good, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Kyle. Oh, I didn't see this, Kyle. I'm sorry. Mooresville versus Burns back on the schedule. Oh, okay. Well, you know, right now those contracts are kind of crazy with the COVID. I don't know what's going on with that. That's going to be a mess trying to get all that straightened out. But anyway, all right, let's bring the crew back. And do my eyes deceive me, guys?
Probably.
Guys, we got someone else here.
Uh-oh.
I don't think it might be a mirage. Hold on.
What's up? What's up?
What the heck, man? You just pop it up randomly?
I just do a text and asked him why he didn't like me anymore.
Pep don't give people information, do he? You want to know something? Get it. I'll start. That's why I seen the laughing out loud emoji. You know me too long. If you know I don't like somebody, I'm just gonna tell them. No, I'm in a good mood.
Well, it's good to see you, man.
I'm busy. I've been busy, man. I'm trying to change the culture. Well, I'm not trying. Me and Coach Sean Galloway over here, Gander, we're changing the culture. And most people who coach football know it's a 24/7 thing. Thank you to the assistant, the new AD at CMS, Erica Turner, for giving us the opportunity to play JV football and build our program. It just, I miss my CFI folks, but I gotta be all in. I gotta give these guys the whole Coach Billups experience. But no, I've just been busy. I've been busy. I've been in therapy for some other stuff, and been trying to make sure I'm balanced. My babies. Y'all know how I am about my two daughters. Emery and Adore. But I've just been busy. I've just been working on my piece. But I miss you guys. Kendall sent me that. I laugh, and then you always call me while I'm doing a dead thing, and then I forget to call you back. I'm a father. I'm a football coach. And I got to balance it out, but I miss you guys. Pep he's been very respectful. I can't believe y'all not coming to Garrett's tomorrow. It's the first in Mecklenburg County history a homecoming on Thursday evening. So I think y'all should come out and support the Garrett Wildcats as we play the Providence Panthers. You know, this is nostalgia for me because you know how I feel about Providence, and you know, Coach Ward, Brad Bowles, all them guys over there. You know, it hurts me not being able to go against my guys like Dwayne Gaston, number 6, Mason Bryant, all my guys who are seniors this year. But no, I think you got some time. Come over to the east side and support the old Garrett Wildcats that we play Providence at 6 o'clock. You know, the first homecoming on Thursday, but I'm grateful for Erica Turner for letting us to play JV and build this program. It's a wonderful Garrett is a wonderful school. I think you all guys should just give us a chance. It's a beautiful school over there. They always polarize the negativity. And you know that Pep over there at Harding, you know. I don't know what it's about CMS and these urban schools, but nah, man, I really do believe that we're gonna get this thing turned around. And I'm very committed, so I'm happy. But nah, I love you guys. You've just been busy. And now I come play my man.
Well, illustrious, I am going to tell you that was my plan tomorrow. I have not announced it, but thank you for giving me the platform that I'm going to be there tomorrow for that reason.
Oh, no, I missed you. But, you know, I was only doing that because I haven't seen you like there a month or two.
I was going to surprise you.
And then Friday, me and my daughter Emery, we're going to Chambers versus West Charlotte because y'all know I love West Charlotte and y'all know how I feel about Chambers coaching staff. I gotta go slap Montez Last in the back of the head for being the new AD. Congrats to him, but you know that's just how it is. You know, you gotta support your friends and your family, and a bunch of my friends and family are doing big things in the city of Charlotte, so that's why I'm very happy. But now I miss you guys. I'm sorry. As you see, I'm getting old. I don't got my hair cut. You know, I'm in coaching mode. Kid him and he know when he see this, I'm in full blown mode.
Compared to where you were in the previous season of Football Focus Weekly, that ain't nothing.
This is true. This is true. Shout out to Sam Grider. I had gray hairs, but and I love what they doing. I love what they're doing at West Charlotte. But now I had to come on. Kenneth broke my heart. Kenneth, you know, good there where I love you. And, you know, I ain't like it. I would have been on fault you and we've been had an argument, but you're all right in my book. You already know that.
I'd be there tomorrow night, man, but I'm going to be at just right down the street from you at Charlotte. Watch them take on FAU. You know, my guy Derek Boykins plays up there. And so
man, you know, I need to make a phone call, but it'd be all right. You better come to the last game, Rocky River next week. We're playing at Garrett, 6 o'clock. You better be there.
Bet.
That's what I'm talking about. Brandon and Sharia good, but you and Pep, y'all gotta earn it.
I just told you I'm coming tomorrow.
You good.
It ain't official till you walk in, though.
Dino's
you gotta walk in
down the road.
Huh?
Dino's restaurant, is it still open over there?
I think so.
Oh, they're like, what's it called, like the Save Mart or Value Mart or whatever that place is called?
Probably so. You know how I am. When I'm on the east side, I get back because, you know, I'm west side native. You know, west side, we ain't good at the east side. I'm only good right now because I'm coach at Garrett, but I take my butt back on to the west side, Charlotte. But, you know, I'm grateful for you guys. You know how I am. So I don't stay. I came on to do the show because Pep, when he sent that text, he said, well, Queen and Adam was not here. I said, well, that's him telling me, Billups, I need you to show up.
That's his way of saying it.
And you want to know what I did? I charged my phone. I said, let me come on. I had to charge my phone.
Oh, man.
And you know, that's how me and Pep caught. Because, look, I didn't come on. He would have texted me. He said, I thought you was coming on. That's what he would have done. He would have come talk junk to me tomorrow.
I would have thought he was coming to your game tomorrow.
Yeah, to talk junk.
All right, so games of the week on the Blitz this week. There's some big games here. Friday night, the game me and producer are going to is Olympic at RG Kell. It seems like everyone is talking about South Meck at Myers Park, but Olympic at RG Kell has the same kind of ramifications. I don't know why it's not getting a lot of run as an important game, but It is. I mean,
because
Olympic,
everybody always think that AK don't walk over Olympic, but you can't do that.
no, heck no. Olympic, if they miss the field goal, if South Meck misses the field goal, Olympic wins the game last week. I mean, that just shows you all four of these teams are right there, when they playing each other. But you look at this one, RGK coming off a big win over Harding, 49-6, and as I mentioned, Olympic losing at the last second on the last second field goal to South Meck. And I shared it on Friday Night Live. When you lose on the last second field goal, man, it is a heck of a gut punch. And I had it happen twice back to back my junior year at Harding. And
now we play them Lions.
Welcome back. It's so good to have you. It's so good to have you. And to think I was going to end the show early tonight. You see?
No, that was my fault.
What do you guys think about Olympic at RGK?
You already know how I feel about Olympic and AK. I can't really say nothing bad about either one of the programs. They got great coaching staff on both sides. But I think AK don't pull it off, because, I got faith in my guy, Breon Holmes. That's one of my really great friends in the industry. But, like I told everybody, I wouldn't look past that Olympic and South Met game, even though South Met quarterback was out. And, that's why I heard, that was one of the reasons why that game was close. But Olympic played great football. Darren Hart, he does a great job. I played for Coach Hart when he was at West Charlotte for a year. But, they play great football. That's a great coach football team. And Olympic's young this year. But they got some senior leadership that get the job done. So I think it's going to be a good game. You want to be honest.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I haven't seen Olympic or RGK up close yet this season, so I'm really excited to see both of these teams on Friday night. And Miss Moten chiming in, let's go Knights.
Of course you don't say that. You see, I said the other way, we'd have been like, what's going on? Is she going for the Knights or she going for the Sabres? That's what she does.
Well, Joe Hughes is welcoming you back, illustrious.
Oh no, man! Hey, you want to know something? I would take that statement because Joe has been extremely nice to me today because he's been liking my comments and stuff like that. So, Joe, thank you. I hope you get a new turtleneck for your birthday and for Christmas, and I hope you get the matching hat that goes with it. So, hey, blessings to you, Joe.
Oh man! All right. South Meck at Myers Park, the other big game in the SoMec conference. Of course, both of these teams coming off of, let's see, South Meck, of course, beating Olympic last week, and then Myers Park. God, what did they do last week? I'm getting old.
Right? Oh, my goodness.
We're all getting old. They have a bye? Okay. All right, so.
Thank you, Tim, because we're all getting old. We're all in the same age bracket, Pep. Stop that.
Gosh. Hey,
we are 4 old men.
Pretty much.
Middle age.
We're 4 young men.
Middle age.
Young men.
I wish I could include myself, but I can't.
But anyway, the thing with Myers Park is defense. They've been winning with defense. Of course, the young man, Kamarion Thornton's out for the season. I believe he's out for the season or extended period of time. And they've had to depend on Aiden at receiver, Aiden Turner, the kid that came in from Texas at receiver.
Man, you don't have to say that. You just say the kid who currently at Myers Park. We don't got it. We all know what Myers Park is.
I'm giving the background, man. I'm giving the background.
That's why people don't like us already.
We are loved universally.
Right.
That's why. Drake made no friends in the industry for you, Pep.
Okay. Dean's defensive end has also been a big part of that defensive effort for the Mustangs, and Jaden Scott at the safety position, highly recruited young man, is doing a great job as well. But then for South Meck, of course, you talk about South Meck, you got to talk about Jacob Newman having a big
That is South Meck
at the running back position. And then running that zone behind the big offensive line, led by Teron Williams and Landon Egler, doing an awesome job on that side of things. So
That's an interesting storyline there. Jacob Newman back playing at Myers Park.
yeah, that's a return game.
Hey,
Exactly.
we'll see what happens. I done heard some rumblings in the world.
Rumblings in the world.
Yeah, I done heard some rumblings. Hey, this gonna be a good game. Can Jacob Newman and South Met beat that Myers Park defense? That's all that matters this week. That's the headline. Can Jacob Newman and that South Met offense beat Myers Park defense? That's all it's about this week.
That's going to be a heck of a matchup. But then the other side of that, too, can Myers Park generate enough offensively, to, take advantage of what South Mech has on defense?
Their quarterback Olympic quarterback wasn't my fault. South Met quarterback has to come back. If South Met quarterback not playing, that's going to be a very high defensive game. I will tell you that. It's not going to be a high-scoring game.
I agree.
Well, because and you gotta correct me if I'm wrong. South Met linebacker, linebacker, not Panos, but the other one, the Mike linebacker, he is really good.
Matthew Reddick. Yeah,
he is really good. He is really good. I don't think he get enough praise. Shout out to my guy Panos. Panos is a monster, but Matthew Reddick him and Takai, they take the sky away. But this is a very interesting game because you gotta give Myers Park quarterback his props. He is very dynamic, and he's going to sling that rock. And I think him, without his go-to guy, he's offended right now that everybody think they can't win games because he don't have his go-to guy. So I think, me personally, I think Myers Park's going to get the W. Joe, do not call me. Do not text me evil things. I still love you. We don't smoke after the end of the season, but, hey, I just got my money on Myers Park this game.
Cigars, smoke cigars.
Yeah, smoke cigars. Everybody know that. I don't do all that other stuff. God, you kill him. That's why I need shit like you.
There might be somebody new watching the show. Our show's been popping.
Oh, yeah, it's been popping since I left. My fault. But, yeah, smoke a little cigar. Coach Lips is a cigar. He is a cigar connoisseur. So let's go like that. But I think Myers Park's going to win. It's just me being honest.
All right. Let's see. You got some comments here. Y'all are going crazy, man. Is Billups using his CFI platform to gain the largest audience he's had for a Madden live stream?
hey, hold up. Can I say something? I am sponsored. I'm sponsored.
You're
so
sponsored?
Kyle, yes, I am on my streaming. Hey,
by who?
Body Armor.
I ain't gonna tell you, but I am sponsored. So hey, my Madden platform is pretty large. So hey, that's why they don't want to add me. But hey, it's all right. I'm winning games with the Bengals. I'm undefeated with my Bengals. Undefeated with the Bengals and the Texans.
Oh, gosh. Let's see. Scott Curtis. Well, South Mech had the quarterback back. We don't know.
That's the key part.
Don't know. I've been trying to get injury reports from coaches, but for some reason,
but if my boy Nick Gates got to throw the ball, he don't throw that ball. Shout out to my boy Nick Gates. Shout out to my boy Nick Gates. Go get gun, Nick. I'm proud of you.
Uh-oh. We got a problem. Miss Burlow saying she used to like you. I don't know what happened.
Nah, Miss Burlow, come on. You know I love Panos. And I'm sorry that day Myers Park got y'all.
Oh, that's what it is to pick. Okay. All right. We can repair that relationship. That's okay.
Oh, yeah. I ran a cookie.
Right. So. Metrolina Christian at Cabarrus Warriors. I didn't mean to put two S's on there. Y'all can go ahead and flame me in the chat because I put an extra S on there.
That's how money Cannon School is. Two S's.
Hey, Grammarly is a great app.
Well, yeah, I don't have it set up on that, but anyway. This is for, the conference championship. Both of these teams have one loss on the season. And they've been playing some great football. Kenneth, you saw Cabarrus Warriors earlier this year. What do you think about that team?
I really like their offense. And once again, the team that they played against, they're slipping my mind now.
Harold's Christian.
Harold's Christian from way out east. They really were able to slow the game down, and Cabarrus Warriors offense was just never able to get into the rhythm after their opening series. I love the quarterback, the Green kid. I love the wide receiver, the Xander Lamb kid. I love the running back. His name is completely slipping my head right now.
Will Jones.
Exactly. And, I thought defensively they did a good job of swarming to the football. They've got the big Galloway boy playing everywhere on the offensive line and defensive line. Hell, he was on punt team and kickoff team, for that matter. I like the Cabarrus Warriors team. I like what Coach Bolton is doing. And I think as long as they can keep the momentum going, that offense is very difficult to stop.
Yeah, Metro Atlanta Christian, their guy is a freshman running back, J.D. Williams. And J.D. came to the camp we had in July. And he's a very smooth player. I was impressed with him. I had to ask somebody. I said, hey, who is that guy? And I looked at my roster and said, oh, he's a freshman. I said, well, this guy's going to play a lot. And, of course, he is playing a lot and doing big things for Metro Atlanta. So I think I had these guys 1 and 2 in the preseason projections for this conference. And, it's bearing out to be, true. So I think
it's always right.
Well, Kyle gave me another hashtag. Pep spelling isn't always right. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kyle.
You get that badge too, since you want to make badges.
I told you, Grammarly, react.
But this is a big game, for these guys. I think they both project to be playoff teams in the private school ranks. It's just a matter of, I don't know if Cabarrus, if they win the conference, do they get into the Division I playoffs, or will they, go back to Division II, which is where they were last year. So big game, from that perspective. Then, of course, the game, Kenneth, you said you're going to West Rowan at Concord. Obviously, the big key for West Rowan, stopping the run.
The last time I was at Robert C. Bailey Stadium as a spectator was 2015 for the Bell game first week. They played on Thursday because it was when they were broadcasting live. And 2 little 3-year-old twin boys who will remain nameless at halftime commandeered a golf cart and ran multiple people over. Literally, there was a 12-year-old boy that was stuck underneath the golf cart. Plexiglass window broke. Those boys will remain nameless to protect them. But excited about this game. Obviously, Concord's won 5 in a row. West Rowan was a huge rivalry when I was there as a coach from 2009 to 2012. They were also a decent rival, although we beat the dog out of them when I was in high school. So it's always good to see West Rowan come back to Concord. West Rowan is playing really good football right now. Concord is obviously playing really good football. They've won 5 in a row, and they whooped up on Northwest Cabarrus last week. So this should be a really good game. It's good to see the Black and Gold Spiders playing a game that matters late in the season. It's been a while.
Absolutely. One of the things I shared about, this game, I think last week on Friday Night Live when we were talking about it briefly, we played in the SPC, for a couple years, my junior and senior year, of course.
Yep.
And both of these teams were good back then. So it's kind of a flashback to, kind of those days when they were both just dang on monsters. I mean, West Rowan, I remember getting laid out on the inside trap by Big 75. I don't know who he was, but I was seeing.
They're all big.
Who he is.
Oh, my goodness.
They're all big.
Gracious.
You know who he is. Don't be funny.
And then Concord, we went up there, and Jamie Scott was at running back my junior year. And
when y'all wore those awful, hideous, all gold uniforms, isn't it, Pat?
No, y'all were. Hey, man, we wore. Let me tell you something funny. We wore them dang on uniforms every week just because they were new. They were hot. They were not comfortable, and we got excited because we finally had something new. But good gracious, we retired them things after about 2 years, I think. Oh, I hated those things, but yeah, they were hideous. But we had the little ram horns on the side, which were cool.
Yeah, you did. That was nice. That was nice touch.
Yeah. But I remember we went up there, and Jamie Scott was at running back, and I remember Alvin Wyman, our defense coordinator. He told me, Matt Morrow, all you gotta do is make a pile. Just make a pile. We gotta hold them under 100. We hold them to 100, we got a chance. Well, we held them under 100, but y'all won 34-7. So, yeah.
Always gotta make a pal.
we were pretty good at stopping the run that year.
Yeah, but anyway, that's gonna be cool.
We beat Mooresville that year in the first round, Cal. Then we beat Hickory the week after that, who was the defending state champions.
Tell them about it, Keenan.
All right. SPC football history on Football Focus Weekly. That's what you tune in for.
Only place you don't get it.
You're right. You're right, Bill. This is the only place you're gonna get it. You're right.
In-depth knowledge. I was taking it back. I just sat back and listened to the history.
So if y'all didn't know, no, wait a minute, hold on. Justin is coaching middle school football, if y'all didn't know that.
Okay.
And he's coaching Sedgefield, and Sedgefield won today over Kennedy Middle School. So congratulations to Sedgefield and
Sounds like
Coach Adams for the victory.
They have tapped in.
Oh Lord, we got pressure.
Media, he is coach. That dude does it all, man.
And I was trying my best to get there and cover it, but I couldn't get there. I was driving from Atlanta, and I'm gonna slime something later on. But
He don't slime the Braves because the Braves let him down like J. Cole let Nas down.
No, I was there. I was there for game 2 and they won. I have nothing against the Braves. I had an awesome time.
Well, what happened last night?
But anyway, our last game we're going to look at here is Shelby at East Gaston. So Shelby coming off a big win over Bessemer City last week. And in East Gaston, we talked about it earlier, they lost in overtime to Burns. So anyone got some thoughts on this one? I think this is a bit of an interesting matchup here.
I'm not going to say nothing because I don't want Shelby fans to come at my neck. So good job, Big Shelby.
They will. You have a lot of DMs.
Oh, good gracious. Well, East Gaston is, I have a big offensive line that Coach Devine was saying when he was talking about the game. They run the football really well with Markel McKinney and Mr. Hill, kind of a dynamic duo at the running back spot. They can throw the ball when they need to, but they are primarily a running team. Of course, Shelby, I think they're going to have some success in the air against, East Gaston's defense. With the athleticism and lead throwing the football. I lean toward being more of a high-scoring game. At East Gaston, I think East Gaston will have a good crowd there for this one. Because this is the first time they've been, pretty good in a while, and they're excited, and they have a right to be. So, let's see, Joe Hughes chiming in right here. It's a different matchup for East Gaston than Burns was, particularly up front. So, okay. It's always good to have a good challenge at the offensive line. You always want to see a couple good big lines going against each other and fighting it out. And, that's what football's all about, man. If you did, yes, Queen, that is illustrious. He's back tonight. He is back. So we're excited. We're excited to have him.
Whoa. Don't be putting my whole government name out here, Lord Jesus. My name is Lorenzo Billups. It ain't Brandon, it's Lorenzo.
All right, well, let's just go to the next segment.
Put my whole government name, Lorenzo. All my kids know my real name. Lorenzo.
Last week on the predictions, we had another across-the-board winning week. You guys are getting really good at this prediction stuff, man. Both me and the producer go 4-1. Professor went 3-2. And then Big Shelby and Queen are not here, but they also had winning records. So, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. I'm proud of you guys. You are studying your notes. And you're getting these games right. So when this happens, we got to up the ante. Go ahead, Purdue. I'm sorry.
I stay up long nights studying, getting my predictions ready, man.
I know.
2, 3 in the morning, man. I wake up, get about 3, 4 hours of sleep, but it's all worth it.
That's why I'm talking about dedication.
Football Focus Weekly is the most professional and studious show there is out here.
Well, I guess I need to log off.
Oh gosh! All right. So good job for everyone. Kyle, I'm not putting that on the screen.
Let me go look and see what he said.
We don't need any of that crap tonight. So
you know what, Kyle? I agree with you, man. I agree wholeheartedly.
I agree too. Good job.
Big Shelby's not here. That's why he's not first. If he was here, I would have put him first. But he told me he wasn't.
Okay, you would have heard it.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Okay. So we had to up the ante this week. We're going to go with a couple of tougher games this week.
Oh, Lord.
Let's see what we got. All right, we're doing 6 games this week. And we got some interesting games on the docket right here.
Oh, I got one. Let's go.
Hey, Miss Burlos, you right. You dang on right. Because you know what I was doing in Atlanta? I'd spent a day and a half looking at Queen City Senior Bowl African film. That's what I did in Atlanta.
Whoa, hold on. You told me you don't got no pool in the Queen City Bowl. Now, what you got? You got the pool or you don't got the pool?
What do you mean I don't have pool?
Or you don't got the pool?
What do you mean I don't have pool? I didn't say that.
You know what? In the words of Joe Budden, this is a conversation off the air.
You know, for a minute, I thought you was going to say you were doing something else in Atlanta that Atlanta's well known for, but I won't.
Oh, hey, he would do it now. They applaud. I would have gave him a standing ovation.
I won't get into that on the show. We'll keep that to the music videos. But anyway, South Atlanta Park.
I heard it was a thunderstorm down there, a pep storm.
CFI in the building, DJ? Yeah, I get it.
South Meck at Myers Park. Producer, what is your pick?
Ooh, you're going to start off with the hardest one right away.
Going in order like we always do.
No, man. I hate to ever pick against either one of these. I'm going to go Myers Park.
Professor.
Yeah, I've been 3-2 2 weeks in a row. South Meck.
Ooh.
Illustrious.
I'm going to MP. Dang, I hate how that sound. Joe, you better get down. I'm going South Met, man, because y'all know I got beef with MP. How they did my boy.
See, you know where I'm coming from, baby.
How they did my boy. How they did Mark Harmon. But no disrespect to anybody on South Met. I just don't, on my Park side, I just don't like my boy Mark Harmon. I'm going South Met. Saber Lane.
Okay. I'm going to this is hard, man.
It's very hard.
This is hard.
He going South Met.
How many fans of Myers Park watches the show, Cap? How many fans of South Met watches the show? That's what you need to think about. Your fan base. Who's paying the bills?
Think about the fan base.
And think about how they did me. How I had to give him a blood sample,
But he would let him on the
DNA sample just to get in the game last year.
Said, nah. Who cares he's an Army veteran? Who cares he's protected our country?
Claire.
Coaches in this county. Nah, we ain't let that dude on this sideline.
Claire, man, I had to do a retinal scan. Let's go, South Met.
Your pick is late, sir.
I'm going to take South Meck just because.
Yeah. For the coaches. South Met for the coaches.
Bowling Springs at Fort Mill, producer.
You also upped the difficulty on this one, too. I did my research. I'm going to go Fort Mill.
Professor.
Fort Mill used to have the big baseball when you went into town, right? I'm going with Fort Mill.
What happened to it?
You are terrible. That's why I was coming on the show, because of Kittle and his statement right there. That is terrible.
Illustrious.
I'm going Fort Mill, man.
Oh, man. All right. I'm going to do a clean sweep at Fort Mill. A.L. Brown at Mooresville, producer.
You can end up on a video.
Mooresville.
They should. I'm gonna be smart.
Professor.
Look at
Mooresville.
Illustrious.
I do not want to be on a clip. I'm going L. Brown. Mooresville, I love you guys. But L. Brown, they are Sicey. They are Sicier than Pooh Sicey. And I'm going L. Brown. Mooresville, I love you. Joe, you know me and my guy.
I'm going to take Mooresville. And Joe Hughes has something to say about Boiling Springs and Fort Mill. He says taking Fort Mill is bold.
Well, tell me, hold up.
And he says Boiling Springs by 25 plus.
Wow.
Hey, well, tell him wearing mock turtlenecks in the summer is bold.
How many
Tell him where.
Boiling Springs won this year?
Hey, tell him no.
Boiling Springs is 0-8.
Hold up.
How many games did Fort Mill won this year? Who had the big baseball at the entrance to their city?
No, Kendall, I got him. Any man who wears mock turtlenecks in a jean jacket in 98-degree weather, I do not take his advice. He looked like the lost member of Jagged Edge, and he don't tell us about football.
South Point at Forest View. Producer.
Ooh, South Point.
Okay. Professor.
The South Point Red Raiders.
Illustrious.
I'm going to go South Point.
I'm going to take Forest View.
You're trying to be difficult.
He got info.
Pepper's gonna be at the bottom. He can't put himself first next week. Watch. Wait and see.
Okay. Rocky River to Independence. Producer.
Ooh.
Independence.
Professor.
Big ass. Stand up, baby.
Illustrious.
Just because I love Coach McFadden and Coach Gray, I am going to say I'm going to go Independence. I think it's going to be a good game.
I'm going to take Rocky River. West Rowan at Concord. Producer.
I'm going to go Spiders.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Professor.
I'm gonna say this with throw up in my mouth. West Rowan.
Illustrious.
Win. I haven't come in first place in a long time, Pat.
I'm going West Rowan.
I am going to take Concord as well.
Because you like spiders and it's Halloween.
No.
And you like being spooky. Ooh,
You've been watching too many shows with your daughters.
I swear I have. Hey, boy, I can see Daddy Finger, Mommy Finger, where are you? It's all in the book.
Let's see. Joe Hughes. I got a turtleneck with your name.
Now that's your style, baby.
Kind of weird.
I'm the sweatshirt dad. The sweatshirt dad. Kid know the sweatshirt with the sleeves roll up there. That's me.
You know what Coach Phillips ain't wearing anymore though? That Miami curtain he used to wear. Remember that Miami curtain he had on his shoe?
We don't want to talk about them. We don't want to talk about that. Man, that thing is dead over there. I hope Manny Diaz gets fired. That is my slide. I hope he gets fired.
Kyle Smith. Don't worry, Pep Mooresville will get the 1 in your 1-5 record. Okay.
Ooh.
Remember this next week. Because Pep Man will be on top of the standings once again. Book it.
You're gonna put yourself up there anyway and say it.
I declare you be 0-5.
This is true.
You'll be 1-5.
You're gonna be like, well, I decided to go in reverse order this week.
Hey, you can go out there and do a Sam Darnold and you still put yourself up top.
Next slide.
Thank you.
My bad. I forgot who I was talking to. My apologies.
Next slide.
I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm sorry because I'm at 5-1, and I'm sorry that y'all season.
No, you're not.
We are 5-1.
No, I'm saying you're not sorry.
Yes, I am. Y'all win this week. Y'all play the Giants.
Whatever.
If y'all lose to the Giants, don't talk to me no more.
Okay.
I'm not promising you anything at this point.
Yeah, because I don't care who we played. It doesn't matter. Coach Rue wants to go back to John Fox football apparently. So
Man, I call it. Y'all better pray to Jesus. Hope Jesus will park that Red Sea for you because Jesus.
All right, so on the RPI rankings, we're going to take a look this week at pretty much probable playoff teams, and then we'll look and see who's on the bubble, and then we'll look and see who's pretty much, out of things. So, we got Huff at the top, of course. They're pretty much locked in as number 1 seed out of that conference. Then Chambers locked in as number 2 seed out of that conference. On down the line on these rankings, we've got Ardrey sitting pretty. So no matter how they finish in the SOMEC 7, we know Ardrey is probably going to be in the playoffs because of the high RPI ranking. Same thing with Myers Park here, high RPI ranking. So even if they happen to lose a game and don't get one of those top 2 spots, pretty much in the playoffs based off their high RPI ranking. Remember, if you don't finish in the top 2 spots in your conference, you're trying to get in as a wild card based solely on your RPI ranking right here. So that's why this is important. This also is important for conference champions because once they get locked into that spot, then they're seeded based on, their RPI ranking. So Huff, because they're number 1 in the RPI, they're sitting here with a very strong chance to be the number 1 seed out of the whole 4A West bracket. So they got home field advantage throughout all of the playoffs. Chambers would be seeded as the highest number 2 seed in the playoffs. So they rank and seed all the number 1s, and then all the number 2s coming after that. And Chambers would be the first number 2 off the list based on their RPI ranking. So other area teams looking good for the playoffs. Marvin Ridge, really strong RPI right there at number 5. Hickory Ridge, we already know they're a conference champion. They'll be seeded as one of the high seeds in the 4A West because they are 6-2 with a strong RPI. Lake Norman right now sitting strong as a possible number 2 conference finisher. They still have a little work to do because Mooresville is still in the race for that number 2 spot, and they play next week in a huge game up in that area. Porter Ridge looks strong for the playoffs. Butler, we see right here, they're top of the Southwestern Conference, ranked at 18. They are locked in for the playoffs. As long as Charlotte Catholic, not far from them at 21, they'll be a number 2 seed coming out of their conference with that automatic bid. We see South Meck is a little lower, but they're not in danger of missing the playoffs with a 22 RPI. That's pretty strong. We talk about Mallard Creek, talk about North Meck. Right now, 23 and 24 at the RPI. I think that puts them on the bubble. And we start using this bubble term when you're not in the top 2 of your conference. And then you really start having to look at the RPI. And any game you win now is going to help. But you also are looking at, remember, your opponent's winning percentage is 40% of this. So the teams that you've played, you want them to win. And then the other part of it is, of course, your opponent's winning percentage, which you really don't have much control over. But teams you've played, of course, and win, teams that you've played, you want them to win. So if you've played like Mallard Creek, they've played Huff. They want Huff to keep winning because that's going to help their opponent's winning percentage right there. And that's going to help, possibly solidify them as a wild card. So those teams are on the bubble. Mooresville still has number 2 seed aspirations sitting there at 25. But if they don't get that number 2 seed, you're probably looking at them as possibly on the bubble right there. Providence, they just need to keep winning. The more they win, the more they, take themselves off of that bubble. But they're definitely in that bubble situation. Cox Mills definitely on the bubble. Cuthbertson, maybe on the other side of that bubble, they got to win some more games. If you get to 500, you give yourself a really, good shot of getting in because the field is 64 teams. So we got a lot of spots available, but you want to just really make sure you give yourself the best chance. Now you see Olympic with a 36 RPI, 5-2. It's really, really important for them to try to get one of those 2 automatic spots, because now you're getting into a place at 36 where you're probably good, but you're really wanting to solidify that with a couple more wins there. And what's killing Olympic is their opponent's winning percentage, 383 right now. Now they're playing some better teams, and that's going to go up. And so you're going to see Olympics RPI go up as they play. They play Archer Kill this week. They still got to play Myers Park. So they've got some good teams that's going to help that RPI go up a little bit. And then you get down, to some lower teams right here. They're going to have to really, really get hot and win out. Like Independence, they're going to have to win out to have a shot. And then you get down into some teams that are, pretty much out of it, down below that. So that's what we're looking like, for the playoffs. Let me see. We got a couple comments here. Let's see. Mooresville versus Lake Norman next week for the last guaranteed playoff berth. Start heating up. Hey, it's a big game, but you can't look ahead. You gotta see what you got this week, and you guys got A.L. Brown and Lake Norman's got I gotta check and see who they got. But hey, if you both take care of business, yeah, that's gonna be a big one. And then Mr. Curtis coming in from AK, played 5 out of the top 14 RPI rankings. Yeah, that helps you a ton. It helps you a ton in this situation. Sean Parks. Well, there goes Olympic, Myers Park, and AK. Hey, Olympic still has a strong chance. All they got to do is win. All they got to do is win. It's right in front of them. You win and you get one of those automatic spots. You're in. That's what your goal is right now. If you're one of those teams, we lost Illustrious. He must have had to focus on Madden.
That's about a key 4th down he had to concentrate on.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got to stay undefeated with his Bengals. I understand that. All right. So, anyways, I have something special for you, Professor. Miss Burlos had some free time, and she did something that was pretty creative, and I'm going to work on it. But I'm going to put you guys backstage. We can all check this out. What do you think about that?
Miss Burlos coming through.
I like it. Approved.
So we'll put some sound to it. We'll extend it a little bit, but hey, that's why you guys are the best fans out there.
Once again, Pep, South Mech fans versus Myers Park fans.
Oh man. No, you don't have to do anything. I've got it. I've got it from here. You've done more than enough. That's awesome. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in my little magic machine and
it's
do a couple
slime time.
And okay, so the host of Slime Time's making requests now.
You gotta put that sound bite with the graphic.
Okay, well we'll work on that, and next week it'll be fully integrated and ready to go, and then we'll be like some other shows with great graphics and fancy stuff and all of the highfalutin things that you come to know from certain shows. That we are blue collar. We just go and we grind and we get the job done. But hey,
box to work every day. Name on the shirt. Petman 704.
Oh, whoops.
You got it wrong. You still went to the wrong side.
My brother made this.
Good.
Yeah, he's very, very talented. But anyway, since the video is not ready, it's that time. And this will be a fast one. It's slime Prime Time with Kenneth.
That's what I'm looking for right there. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and jump on first. So this past Saturday, I had one of my former players make his first start for his Division II football team. He's a true freshman. They've played several games. He's been playing well as a backup. And this week he made his first start. So I took my 2 8-year-old boys 2 hours and 45 minutes away to watch him play. Well, I knew that they didn't play on campus. It's a second-year program, but I looked on Google Maps and I saw that there was a high school directly behind the college because the website does not mention where they play. So I drove 2 hours and 45 minutes, only to find out that they played 20 minutes back the other way. So we go backtrack 20 minutes, and we get there. Now I buy 3 tickets. One adult ticket is $10. Each children's ticket is $5 each. Now, I had done my math before I left, and I found out that 5 plus 5 plus 10 equals $20. So I had stopped at Food Line, pulled out $20 cash whenever I got some gum and a beef jerky, and we made our way down to this school who will remain nameless. No, it won't. The Erskine Flying Fleet is their name. Show up at the end of the first quarter because we went to the wrong place, and the girl said, "You need 3 tickets." "Yes, ma'am. Here's my $20 bill." She said, "Well, I need your email address." I said, "My email address for what?" She said, "Well, to process your tickets." And I said, "Well, I'm here in person. I don't need the tickets sent to my email address." She said, "Well, we only send tickets to emails, even though the gate is 3 feet away." So I said, "Fine." And I started to give her a fake email address because I don't want their bull crap coming in my spam ad folder. But I gave her my real email address. And then she said, "The cost is $31.20. I said, "Now, hold on, sweetie." I said, 5 plus 5 plus 10 equals 20. Where in the world is $31.20 coming from? She said, "Oh, well, it's the day of." And I said, "Well, I checked your website yesterday, and it did not say that there was a day of price versus a pre-sale price." And she said, "Well, there's also the ticket and processing fees for the online purchase." I said, "Ma'am, I'm here in person. I would like to have my little tickets so I can stop by Wendy's and get my free 99-cent Frosty on the way home." She said, "Oh, no, we only do tickets online." I said, "So what does that mean?" She said, "Well, there's a processing and a fee that goes along with that." I said, "It costs $11.20 for this to be processed when all I have to do is give you my $20 bill, and I'm literally bumping elbows with this big, giant joker who was standing guard at the gate." She said, "Yes, sir." And I said, "Now, y'all are a second-year program, right?" She said, "Yes, sir." And I said, "And you're ripping people off when they drive 2 hours and 45 minutes and then backtrack 20 minutes. So it was actually 3 hours and 7 minutes, and I missed the entire first quarter." She said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Bet." Erskine Flying Fleet, although my player led the team in tackles, game high, led the team in tackles, although he had a tackle for a loss, although he had a pass breakup, 11 tackles, 7 assists, 4 solos, and he blocked an extra point. I will not be coming back to Erskine to watch another football game. I will watch you play at other teams' venues, but I will not be at Greenwood High School. By the way, South Carolina high school football just blows North Carolina off the map. I will not be at another home Erskine football game ever again. Unbelievable. Pet Man, who you sliming tonight?
Well, tonight it's not a who, it's a what. And tonight I'm sliming the entire interstate of I-85. I came from Atlanta today, earlier this morning. I went down and saw the Braves win Game 2 in person. Awesome experience. If they get back to playing a Game 6, which I hope they don't. I hope they just beat LA the next 2 out there and move on to the World Series. But if they come back for Game 6 or Game 7, highly recommend you guys going down there and checking it out. It's awesome thing. My elbow's sore from doing the chop so much, but anyway, I don't know, what are they doing on I-85, man? I think I've talked about this before, just in general. I mean, you're coming up from Atlanta, there's so much construction, you get into South Carolina, and they're doing construction, and they got the whole thing blocked off for no reason. There's no construction going on. I don't know why it's blocked off, but it added a whole extra 45 minutes to my trip. I couldn't get out to see Justin's middle school team tonight. It is horrible. Yes, Joe Hughes, it is trash. It is trash. I don't understand why it's taking so long to get this done, and then there's nothing going on. Like I'm looking over the concrete median, and I'm looking to see, okay, are they doing work? No, there's weeds growing inside where it's blocked off. It's been blocked off that long. I mean, it's one thing if I see the progress happening, because I love going to Atlanta. I like going down there. It's a nice city. There's a lot going on down there. But it's a nice way to get away. But yeah, Joe, it is. It is a death trap because you got these big trucks all in one lane, and you got a couple of them that are switching in and out, and you got the idiot drivers that are zooming in and out, and you're not going anywhere. And it's like, what in the world, man? Just freaking crazy. It is horrible. It is horrible, and they need to do something about it, man. But it's amen. I did enjoy that. But anyway, get back to the host. Hold on, Miss Burlows. Hold on. We'll come back to that. Thank you for letting me vent on that. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
I agree wholeheartedly with your slime tonight. Pep, the producer, Brandon. Who are you sliming tonight?
I think this might be the first time I've ever done it, but my slime this week pretty much kind of piggybacks off of slime last week, man. I got to once again slime Mr. Sam Darnold and these Panthers, man. I mean, nothing's more deflating as a team and as an offense to literally open the game. First throw of your day, the first throw of the drive, and throw an interception. That just takes the air out of the stadium, man. And you literally just opened up with a really bad read. I mean, pretty obvious not to throw that ball on that first drive. And now I think Darnold's sitting at just as many. He got 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions as far as passing stats, and that's just not going to cut it. So he's going to have to do better, but I'm not going to put it all on him. I mean, the defense, the defense wasn't up to speed as well, especially after being, highly touted to open the season. So it's not just on Sam. The team as a whole has to do better, even without. You're starting to look like you're inoperable without CMC, and it shouldn't be like that. So they have to do better. They got to prove they can win a game even without CMC, and I think they can do it. But for now, I gotta re-slime you. I had a little bit left from last week, and I just gotta dump it on your heads again. So hoping for a better showing this week.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you, man. Miss Burlows has a slime. So hey, if you guys got slimes, we're gonna open it up to you guys as well. So let's. I'm gonna read her slime here. So she says she's sitting in a Chick-fil-A parking lot waiting for her daughter, who is to get off at work at 9 p.m. The dining room is closed, but I'm sitting here watching them clean dining room tables and floors. Let the kids go.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right, absolutely. I don't understand that. I mean, kids, they got schoolwork to do. They got so many things they got to do already. I worked at Wendy's for one day for a similar situation when I was younger, much younger in high school. Not now.
Was it the one on Freedom?
No, wasn't that one. It was this is how old I was. It was the new one in university.
the new one.
the new one by UNC Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to get off at 10 o'clock, but the lady asked me, she was like, do you close? And I'm thinking, okay, it closes at 10. So I said, yeah, I close. So at 10 o'clock came, my mom's outside. I'm about to leave. She was like, no, you close. I said, it's closed. It's 10 o'clock. I'm supposed to leave. And I showed her the little paper, and she was like, no, you close. And I said, well, what does that mean? Like, you got to go clean the grill and do all this. And I was like, no, my mom's outside. I got to go. I had school the next day. She was like, nope, you got to stay. 2 hours later, I was finally allowed to leave. And I think I left my little Wendy's shirt in the parking lot. My mom was super angry. So yeah, I mean you gotta. I get times are tough, but yeah, you gotta let the kids go, man.
I feel like that was a kind of a side slime against Wendy's.
Slightly.
Yeah,
Slightly.
a little.
Miss Moten has a suggestion for you.
Nope.
Boot. Nope. Decline. No. Get that off the screen. Take it down.
Next.
Nope. Next comment. Thank you.
Joe's saying, surprised Robbie Anderson isn't getting an honorary slime for having butterfingers.
He should. He was part of mine. He's definitely part. He wanted the ball more into it, but then he refused to catch it. So why do you ask for it if you're not going to catch it?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think yeah, he's spot on. He's spot on with that one.
And then Karen Belt, sliming coach ruled for telling the Giants the Panthers will be running more.
Right. Why would you say that?
Well, I just don't like it because this is the same crap John Fox used to say many years ago, and it's the same coach who said a punt was a good play. It's the same crap mentality we're going back to.
It would be nice. I will say this just to add on the Panthers. It would be nice to have a healthy, if he was going to be healthy, a healthy Curtis Samuel right now. The way Robbie Anderson is playing.
Right.
That would be that would be good game change. Especially he can line up in the backfield as well. So
the most versatile player we had last year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. So in tradition, the last comment is Miss Moten laughing at our pain as Panthers fans. That's okay.
I'm not laughing.
I'm not either.
No, she put eight laughing emojis too.
Yeah, for their typical 8-8 season.
In fairness, they won't be 8-8 this year.
Well, yeah, I did say they're going to be 9-8, so they're on their way. But anyway, all right. So that's tonight's Football Focus Weekly. I thank all you guys for watching. The Hornets game is pretty good right now. They're only down by 3, so we've had some nice progress from 68 points last week.
Right.
So enjoy the game. I think, Joe, you said the Braves are up 4-0. I'm going to go check some of that out after this Hornets game goes off. Gordon Hayward is banked in at 3. All right. Anyway, good night, everybody. Appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, me and producer will be at RGKL taking on Olympic. Professor's going to be at Concord taking on West Rowan. And then once the other guys figure out, Billup said he's going to West Charlton Chambers. So if you see us, say hello. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.